My partner Tony and I, we've spent about 9 months now looking for businesses to buy, and we closed on our first business about 4 months ago. So within about 6 months, we went from deciding to do this to actually owning a business, which is pretty remarkable. And I don't think we would have gotten there without accelerated manufacturing brokers. Along the way, we looked at lots of different companies and we met lots of different brokers. And I can easily say that the way things are done at Accelerated is quite different than what I've seen pretty much from everyone else. And what everyone else does isn't bad, but it's pretty similar to one another. And it feels a bit like, I'd say it feels like dealing with a real estate agent, where they can show you a property, they can answer some pretty high-level questions, but they can't really facilitate deep understanding. And with Accelerated, that's what I found. I found people, first of all, I would say that the information package that we received as potential buyers was significantly more complete, well-written, accurate. And then when we asked for additional information, we got what we asked for, and it came very quickly. But I think the other thing that really is unique is, the folks that Accelerated, it really act as a true intermediary. This is hard to get all the interests of a buyer and all the interests of a seller lined up well enough to complete a transaction where on the other side of it, everyone still needs to get along and work together. And we wouldn't have gotten there without Accelerated. There were a few times along the way when emotions got high on both sides. There were a few times panic set in on both sides. And Accelerated was there to calm everybody down, to talk about what was typical, what was common, what was, how these things had been overcome in the past, and to assure us that they can be overcome and that the deal's not in peril. We just need to work through it. And so I'm quite certain if we hadn't met Accelerated, we'd probably still be out there looking. And I'm sure lots of good deals get done without Accelerated, but I guess the name is right. It's Accelerated. I think it really accelerated our experience. And we're still out there shopping. We want to buy a small portfolio of these businesses. And I wish Accelerated had something for us to work on right now, because I'm working with other brokers. And I mean, there's even one case, quite frankly, where we liked the business a lot. We got pretty far down the path and the broker got in the way, prevented us having enough access to the seller to build that relationship, and then had some requirements that made it hard for us to get comfortable. Accelerated is just the opposite. They knew when to be right in the middle, and then, there was even one time, you probably remember, where Accelerated said, no, it's time for us to not be in the room. It's time for you guys to work on some things, just the seller and just us, the buyer. And that takes a lot of confidence from a broker, right? To say, I know what my role is, and I also know when I don't need to be in the room or shouldn't be in the room. So I couldn't say enough good about my experience.